So, you play Yu-Gi-Oh at all? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you're familiar with the different cards. We're gonna try something here. The main character in the show, his name was Yugioh, right? And he had this very, very special talent. He was actually able to play cards from his deck without even looking at them, right? This is something he called the heart of the cards. So we're gonna try that here. We're gonna try something with the heart of the cards. I'm gonna split this up into monster cards and spell and trap cards. And you can tell it's a monster card because it has a power level here, right? These different circles and stars. The higher the power level, the more stars that it has. It also has these attack and defense stats at the bottom. Another way you can tell is they're kind of this brownish, vanilla-ish color as well, right? And the spell cards, these ones allow you to cast spells on your opponent. These are the ones with the green border, and you can also tell it's a spell card because it says spell card on it, right? The trap cards, these are the pinkish color, it says trap card here. These allow you to literally set traps for your opponent. So what I want you to do is to believe in the heart of the cards, okay? Can you think you can do that?
Sure.
We're gonna mix these cards up, okay? And you're gonna decide, without looking, do you think it's a monster card? Or do you think it's a spell or trap card? Okay? So, this one here, what do you think?
I'm going to say spell.
Spell cards, we'll place that there. What about this one?
I'm going to say trap.
There? So, what about this one?
Monster.
Monster.
Oh, no.
This one?
Monster again.
Monster again. What about this one?
Trap.
What about this one?
Spell.
And we only have 2 left, so they have to go here, right? Because we have to have 5 and 5. So let's see. Just let me double check that to make sure I did the math right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential monsters. We're gonna find out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potential spells and traps. How do you think you did? You had to guess.
I feel like okay-ish.
You think you did okay? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna hand all the cards to you. Okay. I want you to place the top 5 cards face down in the monster zone because those should be the 5 monsters, right? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 monsters, and go ahead and place the remaining cards face down in the spell and trap card zone. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 spells and traps. You think you did okay-ish?
Yeah.
Let's see. Monster. 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 Monster and monster, which means these are the spells and traps. And you even separated the spells from the traps. What do you think? Was that cool?
That was pretty cool.
So we're gonna try something with the Dark Magician and this trap card called the Magical Hats. Okay. So the game is really simple. You just have to follow where you think the Dark Magician is. Okay. So we'll place 1 magical hat down in position 1. The Dark Magician goes down in position 2. The other 2 magical hats, positions 3 and 4. If you had to guess, where would you say the Dark Magician is hiding?
Near the bottom.
Position 2, right? That's the position that I placed him in. But remember, the Dark Magician is a very tricky guy, and he doesn't end up being in the same place that you would expect. Now you shot for magical hat number 2. We'll go ahead and eliminate that one. So we'll just set this aside, okay? So now we're just gonna try it with 3 cards. At this point, it's more like a traditional 3 shell game where you have to figure out where the card is, right? And the magical hats card even says on it, it recommends that you use 3 cards to do this, right? I'll even leave one of those cards face up. It's quite obvious where the Dark Magician hides, right? Yeah, but remember, he's a very tricky guy. He doesn't hide in the same place that you would expect. He's right over here on the other side. Now, we'll do it one more time, okay? And I'll even eliminate another magical hat. So now, it's just 2 cards, the Dark Magician and the magical hat, just like this. If you had to guess, where do you think the Dark Magician hides? On the top or the bottom? On the bottom? Well, now he's on top. Where do you think the Dark Magician hides? On the top or the bottom? Well, now he's on the bottom. I'm just kidding. Actually, it doesn't matter what you would have said, you see, because the Dark Magician is a very tricky guy, and he's never in the place that you would expect him to be. He jumps right over here. Now we're gonna do this one more time, right? And it doesn't make any sense to do this with just one magical hat and no dark magician, right? Obviously that doesn't make any sense because we already know the dark magician isn't hiding in there. But remember, the dark magician is a very tricky guy, and he's never gonna be in the place that you would least expect him to be.
We should never trust a government.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. All right, so I want to show you with some Yu-Gi-Oh cards here. We just have some of the most iconic cards in the game, right? The magical hats, Breaker, Multiply. This one is actually one of my favorites, and for a really interesting reason. Okay, this is Karibo. There is this one card that Yugioh used to play called Multiply, right? And basically the idea of it was really simple, right? The idea was to take like a random card, right? So you have the Karibo, you take like another random card, you just rub it on there, and then it changes into Karibo. You see that? Watch, we'll do it again. We'll use another card here. We'll use like the magical hats. And I don't want you to think it like the ink changes or anything like that. And it's even in the sleeve, right? But watch, if I place it right here just like this, I just give it a little rub this way, it changes into Karibo.
What?
We'll lace these cards down. We'll speed things up a little bit. We'll take one above. We'll take one below, right? So we have the Karibo in between them. Just rub it on the Multiply card like this, and then these ones also become Karibos.
What?
Now I'm starting to run out of cards. I only have a couple left, but that's okay because we'll place Karibo here. And I want you to help me out, okay? You can see the Karibo there, and that's not a figment of your imagination.
Karibo, it's real.
Right? So we'll use the Swords of Revealing Light.
Okay.
Hold that in your hand just like this. I place that there, right? I rub some of the Multiply from here onto the one in your hand. Go ahead and have a look. You see, and then it changes into Karibo. Watch, go ahead and rub that one on here. You see, when you do that, it actually changes all of these cards into Karibo. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Karibos, and that's Karibo.
What just happened?
Multiply.
Where did the cards go?
So we talked about Yugi, the main character. Do you happen to know what his favorite card in the game is?
I want to say Dark Magician.
The Dark Magician. That's absolutely correct. So we're gonna find the Dark Magician here. Okay, we'll place the Dark Magician down. We're gonna find a monster that the Dark Magician can do battle with. Okay, so I'll give these a little bit of a mix, and all you're gonna do is just reach in and take out any other monster card that you like. Doesn't matter which one. Go for it. Don't tell me what it is, but take it out.
Suspicious.
There we go. That one there?
Yeah.
Perfect. You can go ahead and let the camera see it. Very nice. And you can go ahead and set it back onto the deck. We'll lose it right in the middle of the deck, just like this. Fair? Now the Dark Magician is going to find and battle your monster, but he's not going to do it alone. He's going to use the help of a very powerful spell card called the Mystic Box. Okay? The Mystic Box is going to allow the Dark Magician to go through the deck and find your card. I don't want you to think your card is just hanging out somewhere on the top of the deck, right? But we're going to use the Mystic Box and the Dark Magician together to perform a little magic trick. The Dark Magician goes into the Mystic Box. As you can see, the box is penetrated by swords all around. When the swords are removed and the door is open, it's not the Dark Magician that steps out, but the Barrel Dragon. You didn't happen to choose Barrel Dragon, did you?
I did.
And the Dark Magician jumps right back into the middle of the deck, safe and sound, just like this.
That's pretty good.
So, we're gonna try something with this deck of cards. Now, one thing that I get asked often as a magician is, do you ever mess with any of like that occult stuff? You know what I'm talking about, right? So, did you know within the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card game, there's actually Ouija boards?
Yeah.
You know about this, right? Yeah, so there's a Ouija board right there, and I thought that it'd be kind of cool to read your fortune, so we'll leave that card right there. I'm just going to run my thumb down the side of the pack like this. You say stop anytime you'd like, okay?
Stop.
Right there is okay? So we'll cut right to a card here, just like this. Here, you know what? We're going to speed things up just a little bit, okay? Because it's taking a little bit too long. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and your fortune's not looking too good, my friend. We're we're gonna play a little game of cards.
Okay.
Okay. You play the Yu-Gi-Oh trading card
do.
game? Very cool. So normally I have my own deck. You have your own deck. But for the sake of this game, we're just gonna use this one. Okay, and I'll split it in half. It's gonna be really easy. You're gonna take half the deck, and you're just gonna take the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards off of the deck, and that's gonna be your hand. Okay. Sound good? You just say stop anytime that you like.
Stop.
Right there is okay? Perfect. That'll be your half of the deck.
Okay.
This will be my half of the deck. Go ahead and take the top 5 cards off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that'll be your hand, okay? So you can go ahead and look at the cards that you have in your hand. Now
Okay.
you may or may not know what you're looking at. So just for everyone at home watching too, I'll show you my hand. Don't let me see your cards yet though. But we're just gonna look at a couple of important cards here, okay? So we have monsters. That's these guys here. You can tell that it's a monster because it has these little orange circles with a gold star in the center, right? That's the monster's power level. The higher the power level, the more powerful the monster is. You can tell that it's a trap card because it's this kind of pinkish purplish color, and it says trap card in the top left corner. And you can tell it's a spell card because it's a greenish color and it says spell card in the corner. Very good. So what I would like for you to do you have any monsters in your hand?
Yes.
Perfect. Don't tell me which one you have, but just look at one of the monsters that you have in your hand. Maybe pick one of the most powerful ones if you have any good ones. You have any good ones?
Yes.
Perfect. Go ahead and play that card face down, right here, anywhere you like. This is your field, right? So face down. Perfect. So you play one monster card face down. Do you have any trap cards in your hand?
Yes.
We need to defend your monster, okay? So what I would like for you to do is play one of your trap cards face down behind it in the back row there in the spell and trap card zone. Perfect. And do you have any spell cards in your hand?
Yes.
Awesome. Let's go ahead and have you play that card face up on the board. Ooh, Pot of Greed. That's a really good spell card. Can you read what that card does?
Draw 2 cards.
You want to know something interesting about this card? That's actually the shortest effect text on any Yu-Gi-Oh card ever. Draw 2 cards. Go ahead and do that. You can draw 2 cards. Perfect. So you played a pretty powerful monster down on the board, yes?
Yes.
You played a trap card in the back row to defend it?
Yes.
I'm going to see if I could figure out exactly what you did and if I'm even able to beat it. It's a powerful monster. It's like a level 7 or maybe even level 8.
Yes.
You didn't play the Blue Eyes White Dragon down, did you?
I did.
Yeah?
Yes.
The card that you have in the back to defend it, that's a pretty powerful trap card. I think it's Mirror Force. Yeah,
Yes.
you got Mirror Force? Blue Eyes White Dragon, Mirror Force. Those are really powerful cards. In fact, I think they go really nicely with, you know, like Time Wizard and Change of Heart, Magic Cylinders, Celtic Guardian. These cards sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's a pretty powerful hand, but none as powerful as this hand that I'm about to show you. You see, only one duelist in history was ever able to assemble these cards. Of course, I'm talking about the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 pieces of Exodia.
How did you do that? What?
Is that cool?
That was dope.